By the time my alarm goes off at 8 a.m., I've been staring at the ceiling for an hour. I've repeatedly tried meditating, but seeing Jane Doe's face every time I shut my eyes has put a major damper on my hopeful calm. I can't stop obsessing over the possibilities of who she could be and who I was to her. After a restless night of trying to conjure a forgotten patient, classmate, or even passing acquaintance, my nerves are shot and my head is a kaleidoscope of people I haven't thought of for years. So far, I've come up with nothing. The only consolation is that her identity search has replaced my constant thoughts about Peter's whereabouts and my unsuccessful attempts to reach Rachel or Henry. So at least there is some variety from the last handful of sleepless nights and restless mornings spent ruminating. I've never had a good short-term memory recall, especially for faces and names. It was a quality that Henry used to chide me about. You really need to get better at that if you are going to be a surgeon. I don't like thinking about Henry, but the message has made it unavoidable. After my hospitalization, I promised myself that I'd never contact him again. Our relationship feels like it happened to someone else. Things looked so different then. All my long-held dreams were coming true. Or at least I thought they were my dreams at the time. I felt unstoppable. I was pioneering major things in my field, being given the runway to create and explore in directions few people in my position had been allowed to, all with the support of one of my heroes. Dr. Henry Thornton was a rock star. I'd been following his career like a medical groupie since my undergrad days. When I saw him speak about the work he'd done with PTSD in the survivors and families of terrorist attacks. He was the resident surgeon of the best psychosurgical medical program in the country, which I'd been gunning to work in from the first day I saw him present to a room filled with hopeful pre-med students. And I'd been one of the lucky few who landed my internship in his sphere. Not just lucky. I worked my ass off to be there. He'd barely looked at me during my year one as an intern, but I later found out that he was well aware of me and amused himself by watching me grind through the grueling 80-hour work weeks in the trenches, desperate to get into the OR. In my second year, I was assigned to his team. I was shocked. I didn't think he knew my name, let alone would want me to work with him. I'd written a few bold papers in medical school on trauma-reversing neurosurgery that had crossed his desk, and I had a reputation for keeping my cool in very intense situations. So he'd sought me out before I'd even begun to try to endear myself to him.